Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Crypto Hipsters podcast, where I interview founders and co founders, entrepreneurs and artists, executives and stay at home hipsters in crypto and blockchain around the world. And I have an amazing podcast for you today. Let's get to it. And today I'm delighted to have the opportunity to have as my guest Jun Li, who is the founder of Ontology and co-founder of OnChain. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi, Jane. The pleasure to be here and great opportunity to share what we are doing and about blockchain and the decentralized service. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Great, and you are joining me today from Shanghai, correct?
Yes, yeah, based in Shanghai.
Okay, so I'm going to say ni hao ma.
你好 is very good. 很好. Yeah, your Chinese is good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So my first question for you to kick things off is, what is your background and how does it relate to what you're doing now?
Yeah. I have a degree about computer science before, and I do as software engineering and architecture, and then I do a lot of consulting work about system architecture, and then I have a financial MBA degree. And then I join a large financial institution and do the financial product design, financial like the exchange system, settlement system design. So I have an IT background and finance background. And 6 years ago, I'm leading an innovation team in one of China's largest future exchange. Do a lot of investigation for some innovative technology. In that time, AI and big data, and that time still called Bitcoin. We have not called it blockchain. But I found the backend technology behind the Bitcoin blockchain, they have a huge potential to not only for digital currency, also for a lot of cooperation model or business model, finance model. So I feel exciting. So I decided to quit my job and to begin a startup for blockchain field. In that time, no digital asset market still only have a Bitcoin and no funding opportunity, no funding source. But I just feel its technology is quite exciting for me. So I decided to put my life to the new business and the new technology. So 6 years ago, I began to begin a startup, do public blockchain, like Ontology is public blockchain, more focused on decentralized identity and the decentralized data protocol. And also OnChain is a technical company that provides a lot of technical blockchain technical service for enterprise, for governments, etc. So we are doing in the last 5 years focus on two things.
Excellent. So Ontology is identity and privacy crypto. Could you walk us through a little bit more about that?
Yeah, Ontology actually is public blockchain, like Ethereum. But public blockchain, different public blockchain have as a public ledger for different information. Actually, for example, digital assets also kinds of information in decentralized world. Ontology also supports digital assets as well, NFT, digital assets, STO as well. But one major direction for Ontology is public blockchain or public ledger for decentralized identity or decentralized data protocol. So that means Ontology also is a public blockchain, but more focused on those kind of information, identity and the data. So that means except for the infrastructure, blockchain infrastructure, Ontology also have a lot of protocols like decentralized identity protocol, decentralized data protocol, in media level. That's cross support as a cross chain, support different platform, Ethereum, Binance Chain, etc. As an integrated identity and data protocol, they can support a lot of business solution or the decentralized service.
Great. So recently, you made some comments regarding the EF or the SEC and exchange traded funds, and I want to go through your comments. You said the approval of Bitcoin exchange traded fund would be a huge step in the right direction for the mainstream adoption of cryptocurrency trading. Now, I want to find out from you what you think that right direction is and how an ETF would lead to the right destination.
Yeah, in the past 5 years, digital assets or crypto assets still kind of another world with traditional finance world or traditional business world. Because most traditional foundation or capital are difficult to allocate those kind of assets because maybe sometimes it's kind of risk. They don't know how to control risk for those kind of assets. Or the legal system still cannot support those kind of assets be as accountable. But you find a lot of change currently, a lot of company fund capital already allocated crypto assets to do that. Many innovative regulation is coming, especially like the United States, Coinbase list to Nasdaq, and also a lot of traditional company also allocate Bitcoin, like the Tesla or the Elon Musk. They also a lot of interesting for this part. So I find people were finally think, okay, the consensus on cryptocurrency, for example, especially in Bitcoin, already be there. It's very close the second stage of gold. Because in image, maybe people have don't trust gold, maybe a lot of other kind of currency or assets. But Bitcoin after 10 years ago, 10 years, after 10 years development, we think blockchain, they have already have the trust from the traditional world, business world or finance world. So I believe the allocation for the traditional capital will more and more in companies. And the ETF is kind of great product. They can let the individual, I mean the traditional investor, easily to allocate their assets to crypto assets. Because without that, I mean a lot of the, I would say a lot of the people or investors still not touch cryptocurrency investment, just like a very innovative or very early bird to do that. But the ETF will help for that. So I believe that will be a huge step for next phase.
So you're saying it's institutional would the institutional driving, but let's say what if the institutional path isn't the right path, and rather a more effective path is through products and services offered directly to the customer with assistance from favorable open regulations of governments. What do you think about that prospect?
Yeah, actually, that is another direction from crypto world. As assets or as investment assets, that is a very early step. I think in the future, that is not a major direction. The major direction still we have approval, or the industry should approve the blockchain technology or infrastructure can provide better solution or better infrastructure for the business world, I mean traditional business world, not only decentralized world. That also needed to confirm to prove the decentralized service or decentralized mechanism better than currently centralized platform, centralized process. I think logically, technically analysis, they have been approved because a lot of like the technical analysis or logical analysis, but for practice, still in early stage because adoption is still in very small scope. The traditional business model or traditional governance model, finance model have not been converted as a decentralized way. That not only technical problem, they have a lot of, for example, the legal, the regulation, the current benefits with a different group. They want to change or don't want to change, no matter you are better or not. It's just a lot of benefits related. So, but I believe one thing is if a technology, a new mechanism, a new model, if they can have people to have high efficiency process cooperation, they can have people to reduce the cost. Finally, the technology will become mainstream technology, very like the 20 years ago, the internet. It's similar things. So I believe blockchain still has a chance to have become a mainstream infrastructure to impact a lot of new business scenarios.
So you're looking from the institutional infrastructure perspective, saying that tool, the ETF, would be an excellent tool to have adoption based because of the institutional infrastructure.
Yes, because those kind of revolution also needed a funding support, right? If you can, people, especially the traditional, the professional team, they find, okay, we have enough funding, we're willing to try those kind of innovative model. So that's just the key thing.
Great, I understand. You said in the next sentence, you said Bitcoin's growing acceptance as an alternative to traditional finance is happening quickly, and regulators need to catch up. So, what do you see as regulatory shortcomings globally, and what efforts need to be undertaken to address them?
I still think regulation and is a good thing for decentralized or crypto world. I mean blockchain world. Some people maybe don't agree that they think, okay, we are another new world. We needn't regulation, even we needn't governments, etc. But if you build a virtual world like another world, I mean, that's fine. You can play your game in your home. But if you want to build an infrastructure for mainstream business, for lots of business model in the real world, you have to work with regulation. That is not kind of surrender or lots of other things. That is necessary thing. For example, Bitcoin or the other crypto assets, they still need to support the AMA, I mean, those kind of process, KYC, sometimes it's KYC process. More than that, except for crypto assets, if more real assets become tokenized or digitalized, like even house, even the equity, even maybe your car or other kind of things, you have to link to the off-chain, the real world, to get support from the legal system, from a business process, from the real identity, from a company, from a contract, and also from a signature legal process. So all those things means we can use a decentralized process or mechanism to integrate centralized service or decentralized service together to have a more better mechanism with lower cost to build business again. That means regulation is not kind of bad thing for the decentralized service, but it's also kind of key elements for decentralized service to become a mainstream infrastructure. So I think regulation, we should welcome regulation. They need to become quick and quick. They can support the whole industry become more stable.
I like what you said there. You said build business again, and that's what we need to do. So moving on to the next one, you said without approval from the SEC, crypto-hungry investors enter the market at their own risk. I think we saw that over this weekend. SEC endorsement of a Bitcoin ETF would see the doors of digital finance open for millions of new users, as well as the freeing up of access to millions of dollars. So my first question there is, why are you looking at America and the SEC to lead the way instead of your home country, China? As there are, number one, there are far more people in China. There are some major cities with tons of wealth, and individual economies in each of those cities?
Yeah, I think so. Up to now, I believe there's also competition between different regulator in different countries. To be honest, American already, especially in today, already is a leader for those kind of competition. Especially you can see Coinbase be listed, and a lot of company and new startup in crypto industry actually is from the United States. And also investor also can invest the crypto assets in legal process, under the legal process. So I believe SEC will have more and more regulation for crypto world or digital assets world will coming. And finally, you will find United States maybe they can have a regulation controller globally in crypto world because they can actually become the standard for those kind of regulation. They also will be the pricing center for the crypto assets, especially in China or other countries. The regulation is still not friendly in most cases for the, especially for exchange, for trading, and so I think American is leader. But to be another side, for holding the digital assets, both legal in China, in America, in many countries, and for the application for decentralized service, the based on the blockchain infrastructure also is legal, can support that. So for the final destination, I mean the competition to the final destination, they still depend on how large scope, I mean business scope, how many use cases or scenarios you have. From this point of view, I still believe China and the United States have good chance to become two of popular, the hottest countries for blockchain adoption. Europe also have a chance. The chance is coming from they have a strong enough the data regulation process compared with other countries. So, but if you want to implement it, those kind of legal process in practice. Currently, blockchain almost is only one choice. I mean, the technical choice for those kind of new data regulation. The centralized database or centralized internet platform cannot support that. So that means a lot of innovation, like the Web3 innovation, decentralized identity or data, they have a lot of chance to be innovative new models in practice in Europe. So I still very exciting for those kind of trend. I still believe they will have a lot of good opportunities for decentralized, no matter investment, also the real business or application adoption.
Excellent. I am with the Irish Tech News, and I am American, so I like the fact that you and I are having this conversation where a lot of people wouldn't, and so I want to thank you for that. What if it's a what if question, right? What if China relaxed its security wall? I know you have the toughest security wall in the world, and created a framework for identity secure, which just goes into the ontology, security or utility tokens to complement the existing mature. You have bank-backed economy and debt-backed mature economy, not necessarily the stock market, but if you were able to build that, will you still need the SEC?
That actually no conflicts between the regulation and the new technology infrastructure. If you build, for example, you have a STO. STO is kind of a tokenized equity, like a security. They will have the people can manage their own identity to manage their digital assets. Maybe it's equity, maybe it's crypto assets. Also, that is with control their privacy by themselves. But if the regulator, like SEC, they want to know the information about the equity trading, about the funding process, about where the money come from, uh, they still have those kind of rights or power to let you private those kind of information. But the different things is all those information controlled by individuals themselves. They can just private their information and to SEC by themselves without any third-party central service. And SEC can use blockchain's hash or the blockchain's record to verify those information true or not. Even not even also those kind of verification process will be automatically. That means it's very easy to do those kind of process. So you will find that is good scenario. They have a balance between the regulator and the users. Also the good balance between the data controller and the privacy. So I believe those kind of is better models, no matter for business scenario, also for regulation scenario. So that is good thing actually. Yeah, in next week.
Great. So I saw an article just this evening that Chinese leaders were concerned that America was falling behind. So let's say, what if there are ways and means to apply identity tokens on your public infrastructure systems? Because I know you're advanced or kicking our butt, right, in the high-speed rail system, right? So if you're able to build an entire ecosystem on the application of ontology on top of Chinese infrastructure, would that help China to take the lead and a proactive approach globally and force the US's hand in adoption?
They have those kind of chance if the regulation open, especially, I mean, a lot of different assets, even real assets can be digitalized based on blockchain infrastructure. That means you will find a lot of assets have good process or better trading process, better ownership confirmation. So that means also means those kind of assets can be traded globally. Currently, most assets cannot do that. You have to list to the major exchange as equity or the other kind of exchange service, centralized service company or government support that. But in the future, everyone can digitalize their assets. They can use identity, use the data like the legal contract, etc., to confirm all the information behind the assets. And the buyer globally, they can verify the asset true or not automatically based on blockchain. That means which country can more open those kind of scenario more quickly. They have those kind of first move advantage in to control the assets trading, pricing, and the ownership confirmation, the legal process. I believe it's good exchange for that because you can currently traditional world like London, New York, Shanghai, you do a lot of computation for the financial center globally. But in the financial center, we still just touch few kinds of financial product, equity, gold, or the other kind of the assets, just few assets. But in future, if any kind of assets can be trading, can be liquidity globally, who can have those kind of public ledger in first step, they have an advantage for that. But those kind of open, I mean, real assets be digitalized, you have to got support from a regulator. You cannot, because you need the legal system to confirm the settlement of chain. So that also is kind of new competition between regulators and between different countries. Of course, I hope China can have a lot of first move for this part. But to be honest, currently, still, United States seems to move more quick right now. I hope China will be follow very quick in next stage.
Great. I went to China back in 2004. I hope to someday go again. It was a great experience. And you said the United States not only looked at the successful launch of the world's first ETF in Canada to see the massive economic benefits that can be gained from embracing this asset class. Now, we have actually yet to see what those benefits are. And I know Ontario has now moved into a sign of a police state. What economic benefits do you expect to see? And if they don't work as expected, how should we pivot?
Okay. Currently, yeah, for example, those kind of ETF product, finance product, they just help the individual more easily invest to crypto assets. That still is kind of benefit for the process. That's actually not the key elements for the blockchain. The only the benefit for the real business, you have to use those kind of technology to reform the currently business process or mechanism. And you have to confirm those kind of reforming can have the better efficiency or better you can reduce the cost, etc. That is key things. And if those kind of scenario or new business mechanism be built, you will find more and more assets will become digital assets. The scope, the market cap will far more than today, even Bitcoin or the whole market, because currently the whole market cap in today. So I think in that time, you will maybe sometimes you will realize most assets become tokenized assets or digitalized assets. So that time you find, okay, the blockchain already be part of all kinds of businesses. And I think this will, ETF and the financial product and the new regulation, they will help to quick those kind of process, because you can easily funding, easily got investment, and even for some new innovation, new startup, easily got supporting from the finance market. And importance is those kind of will help people to have a good adoption, because they, okay, I have invest blockchain, I can easily to take or adapt the decentralized or digital assets based business new application or scenario. So all those things is helpful, but the key things just I repeat again, you have to reform today's business model and the scenarios. Yeah.
So I understand. That's good. You also say regulators should embrace the chance to control digital currencies flow into mainstream markets, and in doing so, they will harness the huge potential that the new asset class holds while placing effective guardrails on this new currency. I want to say the American dream is ingrained in our culture here, and one that doesn't depend on necessarily on guardrails, rather on unstymied innovation, entrepreneurship, and creation. Um, we want to build again, which is what you said earlier, especially those who are subject to big tech and others. Why are these guardrails and controls important?
It's I think it's because every kind of innovative technology, you have built an innovation for this part. And not means regulation is so important or not. That's because the regulation is not give you direction or not to teach the innovator how you do the innovation. They just says, okay, the regulation should helpful. This should be also, regulation also should be reformed to meet the new innovations requirements. Because if the innovation is better for the whole society, the regulation should be changed. You cannot become a blocker, blocks and for the new innovations. So I also means I think not use today's regulation to regulate tomorrow's innovation, but you need to be changed. You also need to be reformed for the regulation with the new innovation together. So I also believe where blockchain, decentralized service, and new process also is good chance for most regulation process, especially in first step for financial regulation process, rules will be changed a lot. I believe that, and will change to a better direction. So that means the regulator today also need to be an innovator, also need to do the innovation for regulation. So that is we are to do those kind of innovation together from technical part, from a business part, from a regulation part. So we need to work together to build a new world.
Collaborative partnerships.
Yeah.
I hear you say.
Yes.
Great. So say we do that, and that sounds great to me. Say we do collaborative partnerships. How would an ideal decentralized global society look to you?
Pardon? Your question is
How would a global decentralized collaborative society
okay.
look to you?
Okay. I think that is a kind of dream. Every blockchain we are want to build this kind of collaboration world, because that is very quickly and direction. Every individual, peer-to-peer, including organization to organization, they can do all kinds of flexible business collaboration in a public infrastructure. That is difficult to do today, because today one thing you only can do the business process based on already existing business process provided by the centralized service from governments or from like the platform companies. But you will find future those kind of business cooperation, governance cooperation, organization cooperation will be very flexible. When they have a new idea, we can do together from United States, from China, we can work together to do a new things. We have to have a platform infrastructure to support us to do this kind of cooperation. But today it's difficult to find that. You need a legal process, you need an assets process, you need how to allocate the profits, you need how to confirm the equity, a lot of things to as a broker for this part. But blockchain, you can find, especially like the decentralized finance, smart contracts, and more decentralized governance process and mechanism. That means we can do the cooperation whenever we are and whoever we are, every time, what time we can do that. And we can become a corporation or just another today with that means in the future, company maybe is not necessary. Everyone can work together with everyone for everything, flexible day by day. I believe that is final destination for the human cooperation based on those kind of decentralized technology. I believe us have a lot of chance to do that. And even we implemented this model in some small group, they already have enough benefits for many people. So I think it's very good things.
I completely 100% agree. Hopefully someday we could be able to collaborate together. I look forward to that. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you very much. It was an honor, a pleasure to meet you and speak with you. And my last question is, if anybody wants to find out more information about you and Ontology, how can they do that?
Yeah, you can to our website, ont.io, and follow the account for us. And also we also welcome all kinds of cooperation globally and decentralized cooperation from the developers, from the business cooperation partners, and also if you have any new idea about the build a new blockchain decentralized service, also let us know. We have the incubation supporting for you, funding, technology, and marketing, etc. We can work together, just like I mentioned, as a decentralized way, build a new product and a new service in this world.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Jen. Thanks for your time. Yeah.